Chronic explosive anger has serious consequences for relationships and mental and physical health. The good news is that getting anger under control is easier than you think. First, explore what's behind your anger. Anger is a secondary emotion and often masks other feelings. To express anger in appropriate ways, get in touch with what you're feeling. Is that anger concealing embarrassment, insecurity, hurt, shame, or vulnerability? Be aware of cautionary signs and triggers of your anger, like a knotted stomach, clenched jaw, feeling flush, a headache, or difficulty concentrating. Identify negative patterns that trigger your anger, often caused by people, places, or things. It also helps to discuss your anger issues with a spouse or loved one. If anger problems persist or escalate, seek professional help.
For questions or more resources, text 258-1029.
The material discussed in this program is for information purposes only. It is not intended to be used as for investing or as legal advice. Each person has his or her specific situation, circumstance, and objective, and should consult their own personal advisor or counsel. KSJE is supported by Darren Church is with us from Citizens Trust and Investment Corporation. Darren, good morning.
Good morning, Scott.
Thanks for being with us. Nice to talk with you to make heads or tails of what we've been noticing with the markets the last couple of days. The last month of December was a pretty rough one.
Yeah, month of December was crazy, and it looks like we've started out with one trading day. We've had huge swings in the market. I think it was down somewhere around 400 yesterday at one point, and then the Dow closed up about 18 points. So just the volatility seems to be continuing, and we would anticipate that that's not going to stop anytime soon, especially with the change in the House of Representatives in Washington, D.C., and then with the current administration and the tweeting and all sorts of the geopolitical things that can cause the markets to react. And then we just have not really a little bit of a slowdown in some of the economic indicators. Nothing major and nothing that we think shows signs of a recession at this point, but certainly we are seeing some of the areas slow down a little bit.
Interesting. Okay, and so what should investors be doing? Of course, you always tell us if they're invested properly, they shouldn't be worried at all because they've got a good mix, right?
Right. Yeah. If you're at a point in your life when you don't need to take a lot of risk in the portfolio, then you probably shouldn't have had a lot of exposure to the equity markets or to the stock market, and so hopefully this downturn over the last several months hasn't hurt your portfolio too much. It might, if you have an opportunity to put a little cash on the sideline, not a bad time to do it if you're in the mode of not having to grow your portfolio. But this is also an opportunity to look at stocks and see if there's some things where there's a bargain out there. And maybe it's a time to put a little bit more money into the equity market if you're at that point in your life. But it certainly is volatile, and it's certainly going to be a bumpy ride for a little while.
Right.
One small positive thing we saw yesterday, excuse me, oil prices were up about 2%, about 2.5%. But before we came on, you and I were talking, and 1 year ago, the price of oil was around $45, $46 a barrel, and that's where it is today. 2 years ago, or excuse me, I'm sorry, back in 2012, 12/31/2012, the price of oil was $100 a barrel. So we're less than half of that.
Right.
All this, 8, 6, 7 years later. And the price of oil certainly, and natural gas certainly has an impact on our markets. But the oil prices are still staying quite low, and the stock market, I think, is watching that and reacting to that also. So a lot of stuff going on out there, and really not a real good direction of where we're headed right now. The Federal Reserve, it looks like they're going to be a little less inclined to just raise rates every quarter. They're going to look at the data and be more data-driven going forward. So I think that is a positive sign for the markets going forward. But again, just a volatile start to 2019, certainly.
Definitely. All right. Interesting. And talk to us a little bit about natural gas prices. Are they still hovering where they've been? Do you have that data this morning?
I don't have it right in front of me.
Okay.
But it has been in that low 3 to to mid-3 range is what I've seen lately. I know we got over 4 for a little while there, and maybe with this cold spell and this, we'll see those prices go back up. But I haven't looked today to see what the price is doing. I did look that it looks like stocks are going to or are opening or have opened down today a little bit. Mainly on Apple, they've lowered their estimates for sales from around $89 billion down to $84 billion for the quarter. Still a staggering number,
right.
But because of the lowering of their expectations, especially with iPhone sales overseas, that has driven their stock price down, and they're such a big player in the economy and in the stock market that it's kind of driving all stocks down, and it certainly affects tech stocks. But we'll see what happens by the end of the day. Who knows? Yesterday we had a 400-point swing, so
right.
Anything could happen.
That's very true. All right. Well, Darren, thanks so much. Always great to visit with you.
All right. Thank you, Scott.
Take care. That's Darren Church from Citizens Trust and Investment Corporation speaking with me here on KSJE Farmington. And a reminder, at 8:58, San Juan College is open today after the holiday break. You're seeing a live picture of the campus this morning, or actually a few moments ago, the picture of the campus this morning for our viewers who are watching on the KSJE Facebook page and YouTube channel. But for our radio listeners, we want to let you know this campus is open here in Farmington after our 2-week winter break as we get ready for the spring semester. And classes will be starting in just a little over a week from now, so be ready for that as well. Weather forecast, again, to remind you, we are expecting a mostly sunny but cold day today, 17 for a high in Farmington, clear and 4 degrees overnight tonight. 24 for a high tomorrow, 11 tomorrow night, and then partly sunny skies on Saturday with a high of 34 degrees, and the overnight low near 25, with again another chance of snow flurries in the forecast for Saturday night on into Sunday and Monday, with temperatures in the 30s before maybe some more sunshine comes in early next week. I'm Scott Michlin. Thanks so much for joining us. Have a great Thursday. I'll be back with you tomorrow morning, of course, right here on KSJE Farmington, New Mexico. KSJE is supported by Beatles vs. Stones, a musical showdown, coming to the Farmington Civic Center on Saturday, January 12th at 7:30 p.m. Tickets for this all-ages show range from $35 to $65. Find out more at fmtn.org/Civic Center or at 505-599-1148. Beatles vs. Stones, a musical showdown at the Farmington Civic Center, Saturday, January 12th.
Tune into Turntable Taxi on KSJE Saturday nights at 8 o'clock. Each week, we select a musical style and play 78s, 45s, and 33 RPM records. Some of our themes will include swing music, blues, heart-wrenching torch songs, early rock and roll, girl groups, soul, and R&B.